Here's an interview from one of our past shows on Rock and Metal Revival. If you're interested in hearing full shows, go to our Facebook page and check out our list of affiliates for times and places where you can hear Rock and Metal Revival.
There's Armored Saint with End of the Attention Span on Rock and Metal Revival. And this fall, Armored Saint is out on tour with W.A.S.P, which in my mind is probably the best tour of 2022, Jerry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and with us today is Armored Saint lead vocalist John Bush. Welcome back to the Revival, John.
Hey, buddy. What's up? Hi, guys. How are you doing today? What's happening?
It's great to have you back on the show. And now, to be honest, when I heard that W.A.S.P was going to come out on a 40th anniversary tour, I was excited. But then I heard you guys were on there, and that just kicked that whole tour to another level. I know you guys toured together years and years ago, but John, how did this tour come together?
Well, we share the same agent, so that's the easy answer right there.
Nice.
He suggested to Blackie, why not bring out Saint? He was very receptive to it. Blackie's been awesome so far on this tour, and just been very happy, and the shows are doing amazing. Many have sold out. Many are going to sell out. We're having better expectations than any of us had. So I can't speak for W.A.S.P and Blackie, but it's been great for Saint. We've only 6 shows in. Today is the it's the 6th or the 7th here in Corpus Christi, Texas. And believe it or not, today is actually one of the shows that are doing not as well, which is a bummer, because Corpus is usually a great town, but I don't know what happened here in Texas. Some of these Texas shows also include Michael Schenker Group, which is great. Obviously, we're huge fans of Michael. That's only here in Texas. But, yeah, everything's going great. We're fired up. We're happy to be on it. W.A.S.P has a tour here in the States, so this is a big a lot of anticipation for them. And there's a lot of territory that Saint even hasn't been to in years. Corpus being one. The last time we played here was 21 years ago. So, it's going to be a great tour, and we're having fun and trying to stay healthy and go out there and kick some butt.
Nice. Now, we had Blackie on the show a few weeks ago, and he was telling us you guys have a history of playing shows together from way back at the beginning. What do you remember about that?
Well, we played the Troubadour with W.A.S.P probably several times back in the day. We also played Perkins Palace, which was in Pasadena, which is close to where we kind of grew up, and that was an old big theater. And we played there with W.A.S.P and Rat, which was a legendary show, probably 1983. I don't know if we ever played the Country Club, because that was another venue that a lot of bands played back in the early 80s in the club scene in L.A., but we did the Troubadour a lot, and the Troubadour was always great, and one of my favorite venues in L.A. It's a little bit more alternative rock bands that play there now, less metal, but back then in the day it was the place to play, and we had great shows there, and we did the infamous tour with Metallica and W.A.S.P in 1985, and that was amazing. And, it's been great. We're really excited. W.A.S.P is killing it every night. And, Saint, we do our thing, and I think we're killing it as well. So it's a great bang for your buck for a metal fan, even if you're a new schooler, you want to come check out some legends.
Sounds, John, you're in Corpus Christi. It sounds like it's a little windy there today.
I'm sorry. Is that affecting anything I can move?
Yeah.
It's just a little windy. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a little windy. Let me go into this room here. It's just a beautiful day, and we know that winter is slowly coming upon us. So I'm standing outside trying to get some vitamin D.
I hear you.
Hopefully, maybe this is a little better actually.
All right.
It is a little windy today. Sorry about that.
That's not a problem. Hey, now, John, the last time we spoke to you, you guys had just released Symbol of Salvation live, which was awesome, in my opinion. And also, you didn't get to tour on Punching the Sky, that release. So is the set list a lot of Symbol of Salvation and Punching the Sky, or are you going to try to play something from all the Armored Saint albums?
Well, we always try to play a song off every record. We don't always achieve that when we're obviously a support act, because our time is 50 minutes. So we don't, like I said, we don't always achieve that, although that's kind of my aspiration, is to try to play a song off every record. I think it's a cool thing to do. Yes, we have. We never toured for Punching the Sky, which was disappointing because it was right when COVID happened. But we're doing a couple songs on that record now. Sounds killer. It blends very well with our older material, as well as like When Hands Down, which was the last record we put out before that, which we are very fond of as well. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a combination of a greatest hits and a couple newbies. So I think people would be satisfied. I try to mess with the setup a little bit here and there. Again, it's a little bit more tricky when you're a support act because you have to make sure you come in at the right time. You don't have the flexibility of just going overtime. I think that fans will be satisfied.
Cool.
Nice. Any songs you haven't played live that you really want to?
Well, we haven't played until this tour, we hadn't played the two songs that we're playing from Punching the Sky. And they sound, like I said, great, and they're really powerful. I won't tell you what songs it is, although you could probably make an obvious choice. But I try not to tell people the set. I want them
I don't blame you.
Surprised. Yeah. But, like I said, it's mostly familiar songs of the same world, but we like to try to change things up a little bit. And you never know, by the time we come into your neck of the woods, it could be a little different. So who knows?
Outstanding. Nice. John, I want to commend you guys on 40 years of Armored Saint. Bands like yourself and W.A.S.P. still out doing it. While a lot of bands today, they make one or two albums and they're gone. What do you think the key to longevity is in the music world now today? Do you think it's because everything's so accessible and the music business has changed so much? Do you think that's why bands don't stick around?
I can't really answer that in regards to newer groups. I would have no idea how to promote myself if I was in a band in my 20s. I really don't. I mean, obviously social media is going to be a huge aspect of how you promote yourself. And I'm pretty inept in that world and kind of choose to be. I have no Facebook or Instagram. I've kind of tuned out of that just for personal reasons. But, I think it's just about being consistent and believing in yourself and writing material that is sounding true to what you do, but at the same time sounds current and modern without losing the roots of what your band is about. That's the one of the things that Armored Saint always wanted is we wanted longevity. We looked at bands back then, which, using the Stones and the Who and, Sabbath, when we were, starting out, which is comical because those bands are still going, and using them as, motivation to be around a long time. And the one thing I always say is that you just really can't determine how successful you're going to be in terms of numbers and money because fame is elusive. So you just don't know. And to chase that is just kind of, to me, would be the wrong reasons. For us, the reasons are because you love the music, you want to play, you enjoy performing, you love writing songs. I don't want to come off sounding like some pompous artist because I can't stand those people either. But, you just want to do it for the right reasons because you just don't know how successful you're going to be when it comes to the numbers. So you have to have it the right reasons of why you want to do it, and I think that's what's led to the longevity. Like I said, you just want to do it because you love the music, and if you do that, I think that you'll stick around longer. You got to have a lot of persistence. You got to have a lot of Teflon. You're gonna take a lot of rejection, and it's a tough business. So you got to be tough.
Yeah, definitely. Now, being out on tour with W.A.S.P, have you got a chance to take a step up on that mic stand of Blackie's? Big old monstrosity.
They're being nice enough to actually take down the mic stand part of it, and they're just kind of leaving the ramp up there, which is cool because we're able to utilize that. So it's like a little ego ramp for me and then the rest of the band members, which is cool because it's kind of a little bit of a added part to our show. But yeah, that thing's crazy. It's super heavy and just really scary, and I've taken some pictures with it.
Nice.
But, last night they actually took the whole thing down. The stage room was super tight in Houston, and it weighs like 1,000 pounds. So people do not want to move that once it's up there. They moved the mic stand part of it, of course, but the bass usually stays. But it's kind of worked to our advantage. We're using it as an extension of the stage and a little bit of a prop. So it's cool.
Nice. Hey, John, the other day I saw on our friend Bob Nalbandian's Facebook that there is an Armored Saint documentary coming out. What can you tell us about that? And for some of the smaller markets like us here, is it going to be in Blu-ray and DVD, or is it just going to hit the theaters?
Well, yeah, I don't know the answer about the distribution aspect of it yet. It's a friend of ours who put it all together. His name is Russell Charrington. He's a big Saint fan. He lives in the UK. He really just kind of took it on himself, and we let him run with it for the most part. Obviously, we contributed lots of things to it, like photos, interviews, but he really got a lot of stuff done himself, and he financed most of it himself. Probably tapped him out pretty extensively. He did some great interviews with people like everyone from Cliff Bernstein, who's early managers, to Max Norman, producer, Bob himself, Lars and James, Scott Ian, so many various people that he was able to get interviews with, which was really cool. Ron Fair, Brian Slagle, these are all people who have been a big part of our history. So that was great. I don't know, there was some, we were pushing for a little bit of some re-edits because a lot of the footage of the performances became a little redundant, and we asked him if he could make some adjustments to that, which he did. Apparently it went to some film festival and won. I don't know which festival that is, but it's a really entertaining thing, specifically for Saint fans and hopefully for just music fans in general. But it's going to be seeing the light of day pretty soon.
Nice.
Can't wait to see that. Now, I got to ask you something about the Anthrax days. I watch Metal Mayhem every Friday night, and I always see this video, Nothing, where you guys in Anthrax are actually playing Anthrax on a cow.
Right.
Which I didn't realize that as what it was until I started watching Westerns and saw the Anthrax.
Come on, dude, you got it. Didn't you pay attention in biology?
No, I had no idea. And then now it all makes sense. And it's like, what did you guys think when the director whoever came up with the idea of doing that? What did you think?
You're the second person who told me that they've seen that on that particular show, which is funny to me that that's the song that they continue to play, which is pretty funny.
Every week.
It was really cool. The guy who directed that, his name is Marco Siega. He actually went on to direct a bunch of other stuff, did a lot of commercials, and my wife's in the commercial business, and we ended up crossing paths again, which is really ironic. He did a bunch of Dexter TV shows, and who knows what else he's done since then. But he was very creative. He did 3 videos for Anthrax while I was in the group. I think he did Fueled, and he also did Inside Out, if I'm not mistaken. Super talented guy, really creative. It was funny. It was entertaining to do that. I thought it was pretty inventive. The song wasn't as big as we had hoped, but it was still a really cool video. So, Anthrax, they're always the game for anything, and that's one of the really cool aspects of that band when I was part of it or when I was not part of it, is that I think they're always pushing the envelope about trying different things, trying different musical ideas, doing things that challenge the fan base. And I think that's really, really amazing. Because sometimes with metal, as much as I love metal, let me clarify this, sometimes metal can be, strangely enough, conservative, because it's like, you got to do this, that's metal. It's like, well, why? Why can't you go here and do this and push your fans to say, I'm going to be open-minded? Anthrax did that, always did that, from I'm the Man to, what they're doing currently. And I think that is what separates amazing bands from, mediocre bands. It's that taking that chance. And, like I said, as a musician and an artist, I think you want to do that, because otherwise you become repetitive, and I don't think that's healthy for anything.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, John, I had read that you went and checked out one of the 40th anniversary shows for Anthrax not too long ago, and I looked at this. I looked at the set list, and they were playing Only. So now, what was it like to see Joey Belladonna singing one of your songs? Because I know you killed the songs that he had done earlier in the year, earlier in the Anthrax, catalog. I mean, was it different for you? I mean, how was it for you to hear Joey sing those?
Oh, I was stoked that they were playing only. I'd be in favor of them playing more songs, to be honest. I understand why they don't, because they have a lot of old songs as well as new material with Joey. So I get it, but I was stoked. I mean, I support it. You know, Joey did great on it, and you know, it was fun to watch them. And I was at the Hollywood Palladium, which is, you know, a legendary venue. Played it many times, and we had a lot of fun. There was a bunch of guys and girls around us as we were watching the show, a bunch of friends, and we were just hanging out. We were upstairs where all the VIPs were, but we couldn't see, especially me, it was small. So I was like, screw this, let's go downstairs. So we were downstairs and hanging out, and it was just fun. We had a really fun time that night. And we didn't see Joey. I didn't see any of the band members that night, but we saw Joey's wife, Krista, and we were hanging out with her. And her and my wife have actually become pretty good friends through the years on text, because they met each other at the Mega Cruise show that we did together.
Okay.
And they became buddies. So, you know, it's great. You know, whatever they want to do, but I support them playing any tunes from the John Bush era. And Joey's a great singer, and you know, he's a legend in Anthrax, and you know, enough said.
Yeah, cool. Now, 2023, John, gonna be a year of just touring and reconnecting with the fans, or we got some new music in the works?
I don't know yet. It's hard to say. I'm kind of a guy who lives in the moment, probably to my detriment, but that's just the way I roll. So right now I'm just pretty much solely focused on this tour, and then come December 12th when it's over, I'll like enjoy a day of not touring and being home, because the last show actually is in LA, which is perfect. But you know, we want to go to Europe. We'd love to go to Europe. We have an awesome fan base in Europe, and you know, we need to go there because we haven't been there since COVID happened, and we want to go. So there's a couple ideas. Hopefully maybe do some festivals in the summer there. There's a couple bands that we've been talking about touring with, but I can't reveal that yet because it's not solidified. And then, you know, I mean, I'd be totally stoked if we could do this W.A.S.P Saint thing, another leg of it. And I've been throwing that out there because we share the same agent. We talked to Blackie about it. I think he's super open to the idea that we just kind of want to see how this plays out, and if it does what we've expected it to do or hoped it to do and continue to do well, then I think he would be open to it, because there's probably another 25, 30 cities that we can still do, and that includes like Canada, which, you know, we haven't played in years, nor has he, and there's territories up there we've never played at all. And, you know, I can name Seattle, Portland, Kansas City. I mean, I can name El Paso. I mean, there's so
Madison.
many cities. Madison, exactly.
Yeah.
There you go. We're in Madison, Minneapolis. Like, there's so many cities that we're not playing on the tour that we certainly could play. So, hopefully that'll happen. Maybe, you know, at the latter part of next year.
Cool. Nice. Now, I got to go back to the song Nothing. You think that video would have been more effective if the song featured cowbell?
It's very possible. It's probable, actually.
Yeah, maybe if like you were out front singing and beating on a cowbell, man, I think that...
You know, little Christopher Walken, is that what you're implying?
Yeah.
You know,
with a tight
you want to hear
sweater.
a funny story? Here's a funny story of cowbell. Ready?
Yes.
Remember being on the bus with Armored Saint, and Sebastian Bach was there. I don't remember why, but we were together. Or maybe I was on tour with Anthrax, because he did some shows when I was in Anthrax, opening with Anthrax and Pantera. And he was playing, I don't know, there was a Saint song. I don't remember exactly the nuts and bolts of it, but he was just going off and talking about cowbell. And then he looked at me and he goes, Armored Saint used a lot of cowbell. And then I looked and I was like, we did? And then it made me think about it. And I think there might be cowbell on like one song maybe in our history, but it was just hilarious the way he said it. Yeah, you know, cowbell's cool. Charlie plays some cowbell sometimes.
It's metal.
Isn't really into cowbell so much, but you know, it's a powerful sounding instrument. It cuts through.
Yeah.
And like
yeah.
you said, it's metal.
Yeah, it's metal, man.
It's metal. It's metal. It's probably a little country. You could probably be using a lot of different types of music.
And in Wisconsin, it is the
goes-
the instrument of choice.
And
Yeah.
it's
Well,
dinner
you're gonna get a
time.
block of cheese. How about that? That might make a cool sound, like a big
Dude.
chunk of cheese.
Yeah,
There
that
you
would
go.
work. That might work.
There you go.
Hey, John, where's the best place for people to keep up to date with what you're doing and what's going on with Armored Saint?
Probably the Instagram page. I think that's something that Joey actually gives a lot of love to. So that's a good place to go to. And you know, the Facebook page there too as well. And I don't know, you know, it just go to Armored Saint, and you can probably find various sources and some cool photos and updates, and you know, we try to keep people abreast of what we're doing.
Cool. Well, hey, John, we always let the artist pick the song out of the interview. So what song from your catalog would you like us to go out of this interview with?
Well, why don't we stay with the new stuff? Since you played into the attention span, why don't we go with Standing on the Shoulders of Giants? That was the second video we made, and it's an epic sounding thing, too.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, John Bush, you are always welcome back here on Rock and Metal Revival. We appreciate your time today.
Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. Hopefully I'll see you when we get into your area. Come to the St. Charles show. It'll be fun.
All right. We'll see you there.
Awesome.